see your face. For he that waits and prays. I know the Lord. Any better do the God. He will roll the sea away. Then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and sway, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll the sea away. Look here now, man. Sickness come, he will roll away. He come, sickness away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sickness roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll all the sickness away. He roll all of the bill they repair. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the roll the sea away. Roll the sea away. Roll the sea away. Roll the then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spray, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll the sea. One more time. Then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spray, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll. One more time. Lord, he roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. Roll the sea away. Problem come, he roll it up. Sickness come, he roll it up. All the problem, he roll it up. All the problem come, he roll. Lord Jesus, he roll. Lord Jesus, he roll. Somebody else say, he roll. Jordan roll. Roll. Jordan roll. Oh yeah. Jordan roll. And do thy work thyself. Me say roll. Jordan roll. Roll. Jordan roll. To heaven when I die, we go hear the Jordan roll. Take it up. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. All of the problem roll up. All of the sickness roll up. All of the bill them roll up. Everything problem. Yeah. He rolled. Hallelujah. Glory. Thank you, Jesus. Whatever you face this week, forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever, if you book your tour, forward still. Disappointment come, forward still. Woo. And if another pastor fall, forward still. After the pastor we are follow. We obey with pastor, but we are follow Jesus. Forward still. Young people, walk holy, make the right decisions, walk right, walk holy, Ramandosia, Rakandarabasiandarabosha, walk holy, forward still, it's Jehovah's will, though the billows dash and sway. With a concrete
Heat life, he life, he life.
Yes, comrades!
Youth and youth!
Undecided voters! PNP coming again! So tell your neighbor, tell your friend! Green man I ride with like mule, and I take the nation for fall! But we have a new name for him!
What him name?
Eli!
Bangarang!
Oh, we tired of the labor pay. The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pay. Poverty of us we shut and we going insane.
Why?
Eli! At the union for the bus driver.
Eli!
That's how you hear from every corner.
Eli!
In name a ring throughout Jamaica.
Eli!
On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday. Eli. Hear this. Eli tell we say him a go build up the country, put money in our pocket and end poverty. Promise the farmer them a go drive SUV. No him touch the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him to lion out of order. Oh, we tired of the labor pay. The driver across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pay. The poverty of us we shut and we going insane. At the union for the bus driver. That's how you hear from every corner. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli make big promise to teach a nurse and police. Promise to give them big salary increase. Promise jobs, more jobs and good economy. But no him crash the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him to lion out of order. Wanna remember this? Eli from a party new on the scene. Swear say him done with the garrison and the green.
I'll never go back to that.
Him tell the country now him greener than green with no credibility. Eli at the union for the bus driver. That's how you hear from every corner. Him name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. Him fi go sit down back in the harbour. Him to lion out of order. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday, 1 o'clock.
For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan goes. Get something and wave it. 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 Grab a rock 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 and wave it. Come now, wave your hand. Wave your hand. Wave your hand if you love the Lord. Wave your hand. Wave your, yes, wave your hand if you love the Lord. And me say roll, Jordan roll, roll, praise him like you just don't care. Just praise your God, because you know what he has done for you. Just give him praise, rock and praise him, dance and praise him, wave your hand and praise him. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. station, and I hear these musicians playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan, roll. My God, Church of God this evening. God is good. Yes, God is good. God, for I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. Come now. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to walk right in there. Me a go walk right in there. Me a go walk right in there. Me a go walk right in there. A river Jordan a roll. 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 Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Let the deaf man hear, and the dumb man talk, and the blind eye see, and the crippled man walk. Roll back to bank, roll back to bank, roll back to bank, roll back to bank. A river Jordan a roll, a river Jordan a roll, a river Jordan a roll. A river Jordan. I feel like praising. I feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me a feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me a feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me a feel it when you roll. Me want rock and praise it, boy. Me a feel it when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Boy, river Jordan a roll. People make you roll, make you roll. Boy, a blessing make you roll. Yes, a blessing make you roll. Boy, are your blessing make you roll. Yes, are your blessing make you roll. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan rolls. Somebody shout and praise to God.
All right. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. With the two for the rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap with the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2 foot. Set a rat trap in a FLA. Set a rat trap with the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap in the school. The one them where thief the picking them money. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the judiciary. The one them where take money under the table. Set a rat trap for the lawyer them. Set a rat trap. Take the people money and take them land title. And them not get no title. Hello? Set a rat trap. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Hello? Hello? We said we set a rat trap in the church for the one them we are thief the offering. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Set a rat trap in the tax office. Set a rat trap in the 2 foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. We said we set a rat trap. Andre! Oh my God, we are suffering in Jamaica with the corruption. Jesus Christ, you can't get them. Set a rat trap down on the wharf. set a rat trap for the, what they call them? Set a rat trap down on the wharf, man. Yes? And set a rat trap in the airport. Hello? Hello, you know, say I'll hear Jamaica bankrupt, but we don't know where the money go. Set a rat trap, set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the two for the rat, them set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the entertainment. Hello? Set a rat trap in the entertainment. Set a rat trap. Let me say, set a rat trap. The those who do contract killing. We must catch them in America, in England, and in Canada. Set a rat trap to the one them with Jamaica. With the two foot rat then. Set a rat trap. Hello? Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Tear off the cover and expose them. Set a rat trap. Alright, sir. Set a rat trap.
Good night. Good night. Good night, Jamaica. Good night to those who are on TikTok and to my family on YouTube. Tonight is a night that we have all been waiting for on PDTV News Jamaica. My granny always say better late than it not, all right? Good night, Courtney. Good night, everyone.
Good night, students.
Like up this live, Jamaica. Today is the start of PEP. Today, these children have started doing their PEP. But in the midst of the PEP, there was even crisis. In the midst of the PEP, Jamaica, right there, I believe in Manchester, Clarendon. Listen to this story, Jamaica, of what has ensued, where a student was stabbed during the PEP examination. Listen to this.
A mother is seeking answers about what caused her son's stabbing. It's understood that her son, a grade 6 student at the Freetown Primary School in Clarendon, had an argument with another grade 6 student when an instrument was used to inflict the wound. According to the mother, her son was taken to a private doctor where the severity of the stabbing was revealed.
That's where I went and did the test, and then I found out whatever happened, the internal bleeding, and they then gave me the referral to come by the hospital. Mentally, he's just here crying because he does not know what is happening. He does not know what is happening. He's telling me that his heart hurts and all of that. He's afraid. Last night when I came here, after they did the incision to insert the tube to get rid of the blood, the internal bleeding, he looked at me and said, "Mommy, I did nothing." So all of this is just a bad experience.
Now, the incident has resulted in both students missing the sitting of the primary exit profile PEP performance task exam, which is being administered today and tomorrow.
Can you imagine that, Courtney? You send your good boy picnic to school. And in all the midst of that, you're going to tell me less children are at school,
Of course.
Less children are at school. Therefore, there should be greater monitoring of the children. Less children are at school. So there should be a greater monitoring of the children. Who agree? And to know that the young man was stabbed to the point where it is significant because they said there is internal bleeding. Listen to this, Jamaica, and ask yourself, Jamaica, if we can continue on this path that we are on. If we can continue on this path that we're on, or we really need to go on a path for true change and transformation.
Help, help. We key out of the letter.
Need your divine intervention.
But in the midst of that, Jamaica, another mother is crying for her son tonight. Another mother is crying for her son tonight from St. Thomas. Listen to the story of what happened in St. Thomas. And ask yourself,
residents are appealing for justice this evening following yet another police fatal shooting, this time in Whitehall, St. Thomas. The victim has been identified as 26-year-old construction worker Franklin Hyman. Residents told TVJ News that the police went to Hyman's house where he lived with his girlfriend around 6 Tuesday morning and told his girlfriend to leave the room. However,
them push their telling girlfriend to come out of the house, and she come out, and by my come out, them push him in the door and push him in the house and push him down and shoot him. Then wicked, when they have my gun, me when the police say, let off my gun, and then shoot him like about 3 shots or something here. Then shoot him, take him up, go with him, all a jar yellow tape.
in appealing for justice, the victim's mother told TVJ News that she is still struggling to come to terms with her son's death.
Nothing can go so justice will come in at them something, yeah. The boy now do nothing, then threatening say them I go kill him, and then come this morning, say down and kill him. Boy, me I tell you, me I want a nah go so, that's all me know. Me I want a nah go so.
Skill, all-purpose person, I can depend upon. And more than drinking rum and making noise and about. So when I come to work, I know I'm a good guy.
However, the police report indicated that a police team was on a special operation in the Whitehall area and went to carry out a search at Hyman's house. The police say the officers knocked on the door. However, Hyman did not respond until 2 minutes later and rushed towards the officer. They say he proceeded to hold on to one of the policemen's gun and attempted to disarm him. During a tussle, the police say Hyman was shot. He was taken to hospital but was later pronounced.
You hear the report, Courtney?
Yeah, malicious.
You hear the report? Hyman tussled with the police.
You got him gone.
But Jamaica, this is why citizenship journalism is important. Because if you never get a coverage, you would have agreed if you say the man was in a tussle. But I want Jamaica to look for yourself tonight at what the police call a tussle. Producer, play what them say Hyman did. Show them, Jamaica. Show them, producer, what them say Hyman did.
That's great. God, I can't see nothing. But tell me if you like to do. Franklin, come out of us. Sir, make him come out. What you mean for what? Franklin, come out of us. Jesus. Franklin! Jesus Christ! Then we'll walk in and you might get nobody in a chance because look for the boy! Never take it!
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Jamaica. Producer, I want it to sink in tonight. I want it to sink into the thousands of listeners who are watching this program tonight. I want it to sink into Mark Jefferson Golding. I want it to sink into Peter Bunting, Donna Scott Motley. I want it to sink into Horace Chang and the Commissioner of Police and the Prime Minister of this country. I want it to sink into Amnesty International. I want it to sink into Jamaicans for Justice. I want it to sink in Jamaica. Look at what the police did.
That's great. God, I can't say nothing. But tell me for that they do. Franklin, come out of us. Sir, make him come out. What do you mean for what? Franklin, come out of us. Jesus. Franklin! Jesus Christ! Then we'll walk in you back in nobody not just because look for the boy. Never take it.
Help, we tear the
We need your divine intervention.
Franklin never had a gun. Franklin feared for his life. That's why Franklin held on to the gun. Almost 6 police officers, Jamaica. And you're telling me that they couldn't find other ways to apprehend Franklin? Did Franklin even really and truly held on to the gun? Just like Franklin, there are almost 70 other Jamaican men. There are almost 70 other fathers and brothers and sons who similarly, from the 1st of January to present, are victims like Franklin. And my question is, Jamaica, this is what Horace Chang meant when he said, shoot and explain after Courtney. This is what Andrew Holness meant when he said, judge or maker. Apparently no one meeting the judge. Everybody apparently meeting the maker. You listen, producer, play the cry. I want it to sing. I want it to sing, Jamaica. Play it again. I want Mark Golding, anywhere he is tonight, to hear the cry of the mothers of this country. mother. They carried Franklin down to the jail, you know. Lawyer get out Franklin because there was no evidence to say Franklin did anything. So them have to let go Franklin. Them come back for Franklin, you know. Them have to let go Franklin. And here is the reality now. Franklin met thy maker. And I speak to people in St. Thomas. And the people in St. Thomas say, he might drink him little rum and he might be loud. But Franklin is not a gunman. Franklin is not a murderer. From what I hear, Franklin worked very hard, Jamaica. But this is what Horace Chang meant when he said targeted intervention. This is what Horace Chang meant when he said targeted intervention. And I want to know, Courtney, and I want to know, Jamaica, is this how they plan to achieve their less than 800 murders? Criminal murder 800, but them take out 400? Because if we're going to go to the statistics according to hand, if the police already murder 100, are we in the third month? By the end of the year, we must reach about 350, 400, the police murder. I'm going to say, Jamaica, if it is that we're almost at 100 murders, and we don't leave 3 months yet. Do the maths, Jamaica. Do the maths. Do the maths, Jamaica.
What can go so?
So it means the police will murder almost 400. And gunman murder an next 1,000.
Ball out! Whoa! Yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help.
And if you think it is bad, Courtney and Jamaica, it's true we never get to come last night. The police murdered a mental health. Yes, you know, one little young youth, I think, in a Maxfield, you know. If you heard what I said, the police murdered a mentally ill young man in Maxfield the start of this week. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again, Jamaica.
What can go so?
I'm going to say it again. A mentally ill young man was murdered this week. And here is Franklin. And when you see this, Jamaica, ask yourself, is this the Jamaica that we want? But I remembered I said some time ago, there is a list, Courtney. It's not just a blacklist. There is a death list. There is a death list in this country that is orchestrated and governed. There is a death list. There is no way 6 policemen came for 1 man. And rather than they apprehend the man, so if the man held on to the gun, figuratively, Courtney, wasn't it their duty to probably shot him in the foot? But they never shoot him in the foot, Jamaica. They send down the baby mother, the girl in another house, and the girl seeing everything. So there is 2 things on the island. There is a death squad. And there is also a death angel. Let me repeat what I said. There is a death squad, Jamaica. And there is a death angel.
Help, help, help. We tear the
We
lateral.
need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor right. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need this. We need it. Help. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator. Jamaica.
And as I think about it tonight, Jamaica, and I'm asking, as I think about it tonight, I'm thinking about it. Of that almost 70 Jamaican men who were murdered, how many of those families will be able to afford a funeral? How many of those families whose lives have been affected and your sons have been murdered, your husband and your boyfriends murdered, your uncles murdered, how many of you will be able to bury them? How many of you will be able to bury them? Ask yourself that question tonight. Answer that question tonight, Jamaica. How many of you will be able to bury them? It's a sad state that we're in Jamaica. Fatherless children. Those children now living in cyclical poverty. Those children living in abject poverty. Those children have no father or caregiver to be a father to them. What a sad day in our country. What a sad day, Courtney. What a sad day in this country. And this happened on the anniversary of the new commissioner. Today marks 1 full year he has been commissioner, you know. You don't hear? Today marks 1 full year that this man is commissioner of police. And ask yourself, Jamaica, if this is the modus operandi in his 1 year, can you imagine his modus operandi in 5 years? I'll say it again. If this is his modus operandi in 1 year, can you imagine his modus operandi in 5 years?
Ball out! Whoa! Yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
It is very sad and very unfortunate. I'm asking you all, Jamaica, to like up this live. Share this live, Jamaica. Can I drink this water?
Yes.
Am I allowed to drink this water tonight? I'm asking you all to share up this live. And remember, bless up the super chat tonight. Keep the super chat active. Keep everything, because tonight, Jamaica, share up this live, like up this live, Jamaica, because I promise you tonight, one thing for certain, and one thing for certain, one thing for sure, and one thing for certain, is that we're going to have a very good discussion tonight with Mark Jefferson Golding. Mark Golding yesterday was on a punch in the parliament. Mark Golding spoke about the 5 E's. The 5 E's. He has dubbed himself the champion for change. He has dubbed himself, Jamaica, the champion for change. I'm calling all middle-aged voters tonight to come to listen to Mark Golding. Those 35. I'm calling the teachers. I heard a part of the presentation for teachers. Marky G said in the presentation. Hi. What him say in the presentation? Teachers for drive, you know. Teachers to drive.
Have your wheel.
Didn't I speak something about Garveyism on this program some time ago? And said Garveyism must be taught in schools. I heard Marky G said, Courtney, civics education will be mandatory in the curriculum and Garveyism. I said, backside, Marky G look like him certainly.
Serious.
I heard about the energy plan. I heard some people don't know to do maths, you know. Because such one talk about mark meal per school is going to cost 1.8 trillion. It's not costing that per annum. It's costing 1.5 billion. But you see some of them in Portland, some of them in Portland, Courtney, don't know the basic arithmetic. Challenge. We're having such challenge in the affairs in Portland. But he spoke about housing, Courtney. You don't hear about the housing plan.
I hear.
The man said that him putting in $1 billion in a fund that persons who need to get the startup for the house. I can't come out of the 1 bedroom, Courtney. Courtney, I can't come out.
They're not. Take it back when they're dead.
I soon can't come out of the 1 bedroom, Jamaica.
Mansion.
What a beautiful thing. Students, bless up the super chat and make it go on tonight. Pay $20 over here because when can we play excerpts of Mark Golding's presentation, please? Can we play excerpts of Mark Golding's presentation on this platform?
The next PNP government will establish a special Young Owners Deposit Fund of $1 billion within the NHT. Yes. Using those NHT resources to enable young persons under 35 years of age to access $500,000 towards their deposit once they have been an NHT contributor for 2 years or more. They will be able to apply to the NHT and get their $500,000 deposit grant. Time come for young Jamaicans to own a home. We have to do something for the low-income borrowers from the fund, from the National Housing Trust. The cost of home insurance continues to increase. Last year alone, insurance for homes increased by 25%. And this is passed on to NHT borrowers as it's wrapped up in their monthly loan payments. So when you pay a loan, you pay for the principal, you pay for the accrued interest, and you pay for the insurance in the payment that you make. This is particularly hard on NHT borrowers at the lowest band who earn $30,000 or less per month. They also need a break. Mr. Speaker, the next PNP government will help these low-income NHT borrowers by absorbing the cost of the insurance on their homes. This means that their monthly payments will be lower and they will be able to afford a bigger mortgage loan. We are looking out for the low-income NHT borrowers. We will ensure that teachers receive student debt reductions and motor vehicle concessions at levels that increase with their years of service in the teaching profession. We will ensure that teachers benefit from enhanced access to NHT loans and are given priority in housing allocations in NHT finance schemes. We will remove all taxes on laptops and tablets for students and teachers. And we will negotiate package deals to provide teachers with free internet service as a tool of their trade.
That's right. You heard that? Play the rest of it, producer.
Corruption remains a scourge on national development. The siphoning off of funds and depriving our people of resources for investments in better schools, hospitals, roads and other infrastructure. It affects everybody in a very real way in their daily lives. Corruption diverts resources from intended purposes and therefore reduces such investments.
Those were aspects of Mr. Golding's presentation. He spoke about energy. Producer, can you play that news clip about the critics and what they're talking about his energy plan? Let us hear that tonight. And then we're going to run through this exclusive with Mr. Golding.
Where is the help for Jamaicans? The question being asked of the JLP-led government due to the high cost of electricity. Opposition leader Mark Golding noted that currently Jamaicans are paying 40 US cents per kilowatt hour for electricity, while under PNP government it was less than 30 US cents. It's why he used his contribution to the 2025-26 budget to chastise the government for what he says is the unwillingness to seek better for the country. He told the House of Representatives that the government has failed to put out requests for proposals, RFPs, to add more renewables to the national grid. The last time renewables were added to the grid was in 2016.
This government has failed to issue regular requests for proposals, RFPs, for additional renewable energy over their 8 years. In fact, there's only been one in the last 9 years. We will prioritize achieving the renewable energy target of 33% by 2030. We intend to issue utility-scale RFPs every 2 to 3 years to achieve our renewable energy target.
The opposition leader also noted that the next PNP administration will address the issue of electricity theft. Energy Minister Darrell Vaz, in a Gleaner article published on January 29 this year, revealed that the dollar value of electricity stolen from the Jamaica Public Service JPS distribution system in 2023 was approximately $40.3 billion, or US $258.9 million.
I acknowledge the effort announced last Tuesday by the Minister, but $1 billion is not enough to make the level of impact that is needed. At $50,000 per household, this will only extend to 20,000 households, which is roughly 300 households per constituency. And that will really barely scratch the surface.
Hence,
we see it as a crucial socio-economic imperative to decriminalize the electricity consumption of the many Jamaicans who cannot afford to undertake the process of regularization on their own. We are determined to empower these otherwise upstanding citizens to become lawful customers of the utility. It will reduce the risk of electrical fires, which are prevalent in many communities. It will provide a recognized proof of address to open bank accounts and for other processes of inclusion in society. And it will reduce the losses that push up the price of electricity for Jamaica's other customer base.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Jamaica, let us welcome the leader of the opposition, Mark Jefferson Golding. Good night, Mark Jefferson Golding.
Good night, Andre.
Good night, sir.
Good to be here with you.
Welcome, sir. It has been long overdue.
Well, nothing before the time, you know.
Awesome. Mark Golding, who told you you could have done what you did yesterday in the parliament?
Well, Andre, we have been working for several years now to prepare ourselves for assuming the reins of government, representing the people of Jamaica in a way that they need to be represented, given where the country is now. So in that period of time, we've been thinking about what we need to do to make a difference. And essentially what the budget presentation last week, Thursday, from Julian Robinson, and my presentation yesterday sought to do was to show Jamaica what we're thinking about, how we plan to tackle some of the critical issues. And, you know, there is more to come. I mean, you know, we're in a competitive political environment. Yeah.
There's more to come after what you presented yesterday.
Yes, we have some additional ideas as well, and some more specifics on certain issues as well. But, you know, we're in an environment where we have seen in the past where we have suggested things and the other side has said they can't work. And then shortly on, sometime thereafter, they announce those things and treat them as their own ideas. And, you know,
about the idea of the prepaid electricity that they're now championing as the call for the government.
There you go, you know. And so, you know, we're mindful of that. And, you know, we don't know when the election will be called. We're working on our manifesto. And, you know, the budget debate was a good opportunity to set out, you know, the broad framework and some of our specific proposals as well. And, you know, I'm glad that it has, I believe, been well received by the public, because we're really trying to identify things that are achievable, but and that will really make a difference in the lives of our people.
You mentioned yesterday, Mr. Golding, that when you become Prime Minister, you will stop taking monies out of the National Housing Trust.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes. Yes.
You know that successive prime ministers, both JLP and PNP, has seen the NHT as the avenue to finance their budgets. This prime minister, I've done my research, over the 9 years has taken approximately $124 billion from the NHT. How you plan to stop doing that, Mr. Golding?
All right. So the government of the day has been taking $11.4 billion each year from the National Housing Trust. It began at the time when Jamaica's back was really against the wall in terms of the public debt of the country, when we were facing financial disaster coming out of the government of Bruce Golding and then Andrew Holness.
The failed IMF test.
The failed IMF test, the withdrawal of support from the multilateral agencies, the IMF, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank. And then we assumed office at the beginning of 2012, where Jamaica was, our name was in the mud with the international financial community.
We had a bad taste in people's mouth.
That's correct. Took us a year to build back the confidence in the IMF. And in fact, it was the Congressional Black Caucus who really made the difference, because they went to see Miss Christine Lagarde, who was the then managing director of the IMF. I think it was on Christmas Eve in Washington to advocate for Jamaica. And they did persuade her, and the fund decided to give Jamaica another chance. So at that time, when they came hard. You know, so we had to run big budget surpluses to start to pay down the debt. And in order to achieve those budget surpluses, we did a survey, and we engaged professional independent experts, and they said, you can take $11.4 billion for 4 years out of the NHT and not compromise its operations. Yeah. And so we passed an amendment to the NHT Act that specifically allowed that for 4 years. At the time, the then opposition, the JLP, lick out hard against it. An affiliate of theirs took the matter to court. They lost that case. The court said it was lawful what was being done, but it was never intended to do it for more than 4 years. When they came
about the leader of the opposition, Andrew Holness, then.
Yes.
Speaking.
Yes.
Beyond
in fact,
I want to remind Jamaica tonight what he said about the NHT. Producer, there is a clip with him and Dion Jackson Miller. I want you to find that clip because I think it is very timely. Find that
That in principle, you believe that NHT funds should be ring-fenced to be used for NHT contributors.
It should be ring-fenced to use for the objects and purposes of the legislation. Yes.
So let's just say the court ruling goes either way. Let's say there is a court ruling that says no, actually, the government can use it for whatever it wants. You have your belief in principle. Does that mean that as Prime Minister, you would then follow through on those principles?
Yes, my
either
principles
amend the
remain.
law if necessary,
Yes.
and ensure, in fact, that the dipping into the piggy bank doesn't occur.
And I tell you why.
That's a commitment?
It stands as a commitment. And I tell you why. There is a point of view that all public funds should be pooled, whether they are in trusts or that, having the public sector funds fragmented in this way doesn't help the central government. But then there is also another view that there are some funds that belong to account holders, funds like pension, funds like the NHD, and those funds ought to be totally excluded because technically they are the private property of contributors.
That was Holness in opposition, like you in opposition now.
Yes.
So we know you're not going to change on the country like how Andrew Holness has changed on us.
So let me tell you what happened. So when the JLP came to power in March 2016, after the February election, not long thereafter, having said all that and what they had said in Parliament saying that what we were doing was wrong and so on, they proceeded to amend the NHT Act again. The 4 years had come to an end and extend that. And they've actually extended it for 8 more years since the original 4 years. So the 11.4 billion, instead of just being taken over 4 years, which would have been, 45 billion, what thereabouts, it has been taken for 12 years now.
Wow.
Now that period expires, I believe, in March 2026. This is the last fiscal year ahead of us, where the law allows it to be taken.
Yes.
And our view is it should not be extended any further because it was never intended that should be a permanent arrangement. Jamaica didn't rely on those funds prior to the very difficult situation the country was in 2013. And we need to wean ourselves off of using the funds resources to fund the national budget. And we believe that is more than possible. And it could have been done already, but they chose not to do it.
So I'm going to ask you again, Mark Jefferson Golding. Should you take the realm of Prime Minister and you go into the scoffers and you see that there's nothing in there? Because already we are seeing signs that the cookie jar is empty. How then are you going to proceed to stop using the NHT 11 billion to finance this pretty fancy budget that we have being presented by you?
The budget that is currently being approved for the coming fiscal year, which begins on April 1, that budget contemplates another 11.4 billion being taken from the NHT. That's the government. That's the budget that the government has presented. All right.
Yes.
As I've said, my recollection is that this is the last year that the act which they passed allows it to be taken. Okay. Going forward, we will not be relying on those resources. For example, every year as the economy expands, albeit slowly, the tax base of the country, the resources, the revenue of the country expands as well. So, for example, in the coming fiscal year, they're projecting, I think it's over 50 billion more in tax revenue than they collected this year. That's now ending. So it's really a question of why then, if your tax revenue is increasing year and year and year, and they talk about no new taxes, but the tax revenues grow because the tax system has improved under our watch. A lot of things were done to make the tax system more efficient at collection and so on, and that has borne tremendous fruit. So Jamaica has seen its revenues grow significantly over the last 8 years. Yet they have continued to take this 11.4 billion every year. There have been some years in the period where they've actually exceeded their revenue target by close to $100 billion. Yeah, but they're still, now, to my mind, this can't go on because it's affecting the NHT's operations. The NHT no longer funds its loans itself, other than the loans to the lowest band of income earners, 30,000 and below. But borrowers above that have to go to the private institutions and pay those fees and those mortgage insurance requirements and so on. And the NHT has to pay an interest rate subsidy to the private lenders, because the private lenders are not going to lend at the NHT's rates. But the NHT wants the borrowers to get their rates. So they have to pay a subsidy, which is a big expense for the NHT. So we're saying,
Prime Minister, Mr. Golding, you're basically saying that 11 billion is going back into the NHT to do what it is primarily caused and trusted to do.
Correct. It will be left there. We will not be taking it out any longer. And in fact, what we have said is we plan to recapitalize the NHT by providing it with lands that the government to replace some of those resources that were taken out over the time, that it can then use to develop affordable housing. And we will, in the pricing of affordable housing, not include the land cost or the value of the land to the purchaser of those units. So they will get that value without having to pay for it, given that they have been contributors to the fund, but these resources were taken out of the fund. So this is an idea that we have as to how to reduce house prices at the affordable housing level that we're trying to bring to the people.
Reduce house prices at the affordable level.
Yes.
But one thing that really sparked me yesterday is when you said you're developing a fund that can assist young professionals like myself, teachers, nurses, soldiers, doctors, everyone out there, so that they can go to the NHT to get, what you call it, Mr. Golding? Can you tell us that idea? Because I've never heard any leader come with this idea.
Yes. Well, we have a plan in relation to housing, which I think is transformational and very, very necessary.
Yes.
Because what we have found is that there is a tremendous challenge to young people to find a deposit, which out of their own resources, to buy a house. So what we have said is, look, the NHT can, out of its own resources, this is not going to cost the government any money. The NHT can, out of its own resources, provide a fund. And we've said initially we'd start that fund with $1 billion, $1 billion, which would allow purchasers who are up to 35 years old, who have been contributors to the fund for at least 2 years.
Yes.
They would be eligible to take advantage of the young owners deposit fund, we call it. The
What's
young
it called?
owners,
Young owners
deposit fund, yes. And they could get a grant of up to $500,000 to help them with their deposit. And then they could finance the rest with a mortgage. Now, this is just in particular for where they're using the NHT to buy into other schemes. Because on NHT schemes, my understanding is that they don't need that deposit at all if the NHT is the developer. But for other developers, like the other big housing developers that there are out there, if they're using NHT funding for that, they still have to find a deposit. And this young owners deposit scheme fund will help them to finance that deposit through a grant. And so we think that there's a very significant benefit.
PNP administration as you as Prime Minister, a grant, according to a Prime Minister in Barbados, a grant is free money. So you're saying that you plan to help the young professionals in this country, not just owning a house, but giving them the first grant to deposit in to get in their house.
Yes, because the deposit typically, I believe, is in the range of 10% of the price of the house. It may vary, but that's been a traditional deposit amount in Jamaica. And we want to say 500,000 will be provided for the young contributors who are buying their first home typically, and they're struggling to find that deposit. This grant scheme will help them to achieve it.
And your argument is if you stop taking the 11 billion out of the NHT annually, the NHT will have enough resources to support these initiatives.
Yes, that's right. And that is what the NHT was established to do. The NHT was established under the governance of when Michael Manley was Prime Minister in the 70s. He established the National Housing Trust as a vehicle to enable workers of the country who contribute to the fund to get housing. So when you deplete the housing trust of resources over such a long period, you're compromising its ability to do the things that it was set up to do. And those things are very, very needed because there's a tremendous shortage of housing in the country, especially affordable housing, for people who are just want to get their toehold into ownership. They can acquire a relatively modest house initially and they can expand on it and build their castle, So we want to really try and tackle that through a variety of ideas that I put on the table yesterday.
I really appreciate this discussion. I'm asking Jamaica to like up this live because we have a good amount of time with Mr. Golding. But let us continue tonight, Mr. Golding. The teachers of this country bawling out.
Yeah.
We are in a serious crisis when it comes down to education.
Yeah.
I heard you championed yesterday with Julian and Damian Crawford echoing not just 1 degree per household, but feeding the nation's children.
Yes.
And you said, I listened keenly when you said you want to expand the program, not limiting it to 1 meal, but also potentially carrying on a breakfast
program.
So you're potentially looking at 2 meals per day.
Potentially.
For a child in schools.
You see, the background to this, Andre, is that we have a high level of absenteeism in the school system. Children not attending school 5 days a week. And financial reasons are often the cause of this. The cost of the lunch money and the cost of bus fare and so on. So we want, and that compromises, that affects negatively the performance of the students and how much they learn and how well they do in school. So we want to take away the hungry belly aspect of schooling that unfortunately exists for many children in Jamaica now. And so we think this is a very critical thing to do. And it's done on the path already to an extent. We want to extend it though, because as the UN study has shown, Jamaicans, 55% of Jamaicans are facing moderate to severe food insecurity, meaning they're not getting the diet that they need to be healthy. So we want our children to at least come to school and get a nutritious meal. That will also help our farmers because that will enable them to have that as a market for their produce as well.
You mean the farmers who balling out?
That's right. And then, we would because we have to operate within the fiscal space that's available, and we're very committed to ensuring that Jamaica continues to do what we started and the JLP government has continued, which is to ensure that
he had a glitch. He'll be back. This interview is going well. Mr. Golding has a glitch. I hope they can help him to get back in. I hope they can help him to get back in. Jamaica, I hope you're enjoying this interview thus far. He'll be coming back. We're talking about education and nutrition. We're talking about...
Can you... did we have a break on transmission, Andre?
Yes, we did. Mr. Golding is back.
Right, yes. Thank you. Yes, so I think it's very important that we ensure that our students get at least one good meal a day at school. And as the economy grows and fiscal situation improves, we will be able to expand it to the breakfast program. Yeah. And that is our plan.
Your teachers, Mr. Golding.
Yes.
Talk to your teachers tonight because many of them are saying, Andre, things are really bad. And if they get the solution to leave, they're going to leave. As Prime Minister, you need the teachers to stay so as to keep the economy and the learning space going.
Yeah.
What is your plan to retain the teachers and professionals in this country?
Andre, you've hit the nail on the head. We do have a problem with retaining our teachers. We train teachers, and then many of them are not satisfied. They're not comfortable, and they decide if another opportunity is provided where they can go elsewhere. Many of them take that decision. And we want to try and encourage them to stay because national development requires a strong educational system. So our children are well educated and can, progress into the world of work with the necessary background of education and training to be productive and to earn good money working good jobs. So we want to encourage our teachers to stay. What we plan to do is a variety of things that we have come up with. So we have, for example, we intend to give teachers who have a student loan on their, that they've borrowed to go through their teacher training.
Yes.
We will provide a system of reduction of the balance of their loan over time if they stay in the system. And similarly, we have a plan that the motor vehicle concession concession to enable them to buy a vehicle without incurring the duty. We would allow that concession to increase over time as well. So the longer they stay in the system, the more valuable that concession would become for them.
So if there's 10 years, then get a big partner draw with the concession.
Yes, exactly. And then, so we want to encourage them to stay in the system. So we're building the
about 20 years under year, watch probably are getting a free car when I go to the car mart.
Well, we'll see. Those details need to be worked out. But the principle of the thing is that every year that you stay in the system, you're building your value in the concessions and you're reducing your liability in the debt. So it encourages you to stay and teach our children.
So you talk about the concession.
Yeah.
Then we want student loan, but and also the 500,000 deposits are three things that already.
Yeah. And there used to be a special NHT arrangement where public servants got a lower interest rate than everybody else. Just acknowledging the fact that they are giving service to the public, and sometimes they weren't earning what people earn in the private sector and so on. We want to reintroduce that benefit. So we plan to give
taken away from the teachers and the public servants.
Yes, it was taken away under this government. Yeah. And so we plan to restore that and give them an interest rate reduction so that they can at least save a little from that as well. and we have a plan to remove all taxes from laptops and tablets for teachers and students. We don't think that in the digital age where, we're delivering lessons, often it needs access to those devices, that the state should be increasing the cost of them to the teachers who deliver those lessons, to the students who are there to learn them. So we plan to remove the taxes from those devices for them. And, we also plan to talk to the internet providers and see if we can negotiate with them a package deal, which we would underwrite as government, so that teachers could have free internet access.
Wait. So you want to talk to Digicel and Flow and any other service provider out there?
Correct.
So yourself and Philip Paulwell will be negotiating, and Damian Crawford will be negotiating so that the teachers basically get free internet each month.
Yes, because we see it as a tool of their trade. Their lessons are delivered using the internet sometimes, and so we think that is a valuable benefit for the education system and for the teachers. So we plan to do that. That is something which we are discussing, and we'll see, to what extent we're able to deliver on it. But we know that because you're talking about a large number of teachers, this is something which, it may cost us something to do it, but we think it is worthwhile, and we're going to try and get that done as well. So what I'm really saying is we're thinking about ways in which we can encourage our teachers to stay in the system here. And, I know that many of them feel that coming out of the wage restructuring that went on in recent years, the classroom teachers in particular didn't get a good deal, and many of them feel dissatisfied about that. And I don't want to be...
I'm glad you talk about, and you don't want the teachers to drive a Pro Box. Am I correct? I'm sure you don't want them to drive a Pro Box.
Yes, well, the point really is this, Andre. We want them to be comfortable, and we're trying to think of creative ways that we can make their lives more comfortable. And as the economy improves, and we will try and do other things as well. But for the time being, these are the things that we've identified.
These are your teacher retention plans.
Yes, that's right.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned just now about the negotiation that happened for the public sector.
Yes.
That saw your parliamentary colleagues getting that lump sum and the teachers and others getting 20%. When you become Prime Minister, should you become Prime Minister of Jamaica, are you planning of reviewing the salary structure for the public service?
Well, it is something which I think, always has to be looked at. At the time that the whole issue of what parliamentarians and ministers should be paid, and when that big controversy arose, I said that it really should be a situation where an independent body makes a recommendation in relation to that, rather than the people who are making the laws or governing the country deciding how much they should be paid, because clearly they have a conflict of interest in deciding that issue. Nevertheless, the government proceeded in the way that they did. And, I have myself made a commitment that I would stick to the 20%. It didn't lie in my power to say, don't pay me, because they send the money to my bank account. But I have been using 80% of my increase to do what I regard as good works, and that is something which I've continued, and I'm still doing it. But
and yes, for public records, if I go and find out the details, which will show you that the 80% from then till now, you have been consistent in doing good deeds with it.
Yes, I have. And in terms of what we plan to do on the overall compensation front, we see the issue of the middle tier, the classroom teachers and some of the other public sector workers who really got that 20% at a time when it was quite a high inflation environment,
we
Yes.
recognize that, their situation needs to be addressed. I don't want to make any promises on that tonight, because you're talking about very big numbers there when you start to adjust those things. And I know that there's now a new round of negotiations that is just beginning. So I want to see how that plays out. But we are mindful of the pain that they feel and the frustration that they're under, and we want to do what we can to make life better for them. And that's why we've been talking about these other things, especially in relation to the public servants with the interest rate benefit that we want to restore, and various other things that I announced yesterday.
But in talking about your presentation, you spent some time on the issue of corruption.
Yes.
You said corruption is a scourge to the society.
Yes.
How will Mark Jefferson Golding, Prime Minister of Jamaica, deal with an issue of a minister of government found doing hanky-panky?
Well, I believe that it's very important to restore trust and confidence in the elected leaders of the country and those who govern. And, I was involved. I was the architect of the Integrity Commission, because when I became Minister of Justice, it didn't exist. And there was a fragmented system where there was one entity that dealt with parliamentarians, another entity that dealt with public servants. Then there was a contractor general as a third entity. They couldn't share information in between them, or they couldn't receive information from other agencies of government that have the information that they ought to be able to receive. So I decided, look, we did a study. I appointed a committee of advisors. They looked at various systems across the world, made some recommendations as to what they thought the best practices were. And we got cabinet approval for a new Integrity Commission, which was a single body. It has prosecutorial powers. It has powers to share information and to receive information from other agencies that need to be in that position in the tax system, in the law enforcement system, and so on. And I brought that legislation to Parliament. We took it to a joint select committee to review it. It was thoroughly reviewed. The election was held. The government changed. And this government, they passed it into law. But all that work was already done. But of course, what has happened is, in doing their work, the Integrity Commission has exposed some things which the government's very uncomfortable about. And they have been, I think, sorry?
Exposing the illicit aid?
Yes, the illicit aid, who we still don't know who they are other than one. And the
other
one is
than
the Prime
one
Minister.
that searched far and wide?
Yes, the Prime Minister himself, whose report came to Parliament in this, I think it was August or September last year. And that issue is unresolved. So in answer to your question, what my opinion,
bank accounts, Mr. Golding?
28. The 28 bank accounts.
I want to ask you one question. Is how many you have?
I have 2 bank accounts, which I operate, a US account and a Jamaican account. And I have another account which is really almost dormant, which I'd opened 30 years ago. I haven't closed it, but I don't really use it much.
So basically 3 bank accounts you have.
Yes. And my children, my children have accounts as well.
But your children have nothing to do with your
No, their thing is different. And my wife as well, she has an account. She has 2
and
accounts.
Not to be inquisitive, but assure that your wife and your account, right?
Yes. We share an account.
Oh, some others can't really say that though, Mr. Golding.
Well, I can't speak for them, I can't speak for other people do their thing. So, but you asked the question, how would we deal with hanky-panky? Well, first of all, the Integrity Commission developed a leadership code of conduct, which set out 7 principles of good governance that they wanted the political leaders of the country to sign on to. And I was the first person to sign that code. And all of our parliamentarians have signed it. And even some of our spokespersons who are not in Parliament, they have all signed it as well, the leadership code of conduct.
you have a prime minister who hasn't signed the code of conduct.
Hasn't signed
His
it.
minister hasn't signed the code
None
of
of his
conduct.
ministers have signed it. Yeah,
And also the senators have not signed the code of conduct.
that's correct. That's correct. It is unacceptable. And, you know, my team understand how important this issue is, and they understand that there will not be a tolerant approach towards violations of that code or violations of ethical standards in government. As I said yesterday, the ethical base of the country is vital for national development. You know, that we see a lot of issues in the society with the decline in moral behavior and good standards of conduct. And we know that there are many Jamaicans out there who feel that that is a real problem, including me. And we want to kind of focus on that and work with the churches and work with other groups that see this as important and try and bring around a change in how people view these issues of how them should conduct themselves, how we deal with each other with respect, how we, etc. Now, in government, it means that the resources of the state, taxpayers' money, is for the benefit of the people. It's for the benefit of the taxpayers and others who are citizens of this country. And so anyone who is going to doing anything irregular to get some kind of financial benefit under the table for themselves or their cronies and so on, you know, I will expect that to be properly investigated fairly. It's not, everybody's entitled to due process, but the law must run its course, you know, and the chips must lie where they fall. You know, that is my view on it.
You introduced an impeachment bill in the parliament, didn't you?
I did, Andre.
What has happened to the impeachment bill from 2020?
So the history of it is that Bruce Golding, he introduced an impeachment bill when he was prime minister, shortly before he got into his problems. And he ceased to be prime minister, and that bill was never passed. And it fell out of the parliament. Yes. When the thing happened with the MP out over in Westmoreland and the whole issue on the video and the beating of a woman in a stool in a car park, you know, it was such an offense to the conscience of the nation to see that, which has never been denied. You know, I said, look, we have to revive this impeachment bill. And I looked at it, and I'm a lawyer by profession. I've done a lot of development of legislation when I was Minister of Justice. So I did some adjustments to take care of things like that.
Yes.
And I tabled the bill. I brought what's called a private member's bill, not a government bill. Me as an MP, opposition MP, tabled it 3 years ago, I think. And I wanted it to be sent to a joint select committee. So you could come there, and if you want to talk to Parliament on your views as to what it should say or shouldn't say, or anyone else, you can come and do so. And we can get the legislation, improved, and then it goes to and it's passed into law. They have not allowed it to move forward. They have not taken. And in fact, the constitutional
they're not allowed to move forward because who leading the nation probably you'd use that to impeach it.
And you see, the Constitutional Reform Committee that they set up.
Thank you to touch on that.
It was the impeachment legislation that Bruce Golding wasn't doing something of his own, It was something that out of the constitutional reform discussions and reports of the 1990s, which had crystallized into some agreed positions. Impeachment was one of those. So, however, the Constitutional Reform Committee that has been formed in the last couple of years.
Yes. They haven't taken on the issue of impeachment.
No, they have rejected it. They have rejected it. So the Constitutional Reform Bill that they tabled in December doesn't have anything in it dealing with impeachment.
That is why you are saying that you're concerned about the way in which constitutional reform is being done in this country.
That's one of the reasons. There are others, but that is one of them. Yes.
But we can't on the CCJ. You're going to come potentially for other programs so we can discuss the issue.
Other issues, yes. Sure. We can do that another time, Andre.
So you're talking about impeachment, but I see you're calling for a commission of inquiry.
Oh, yes. This SSL saga is a disgrace.
Yes, that is a hot matter in this country, Mr. Gold.
Yeah.
The
You know,
SSL.
we, and I must tell you, it was under the People's National Party that developed the regulatory system in its modern form.
Yes.
You know, with the Financial Services Commission dealing with investments and securities in the insurance and pensions, and the Bank of Jamaica regulating banks and deposit-taking institutions. And we have really done well as a nation in avoiding problems in the financial sector, coming out of the era of the 90s when we had that problem then. SSL has gone under, not because of any problems in the system, but internal problems to do with fraud within that institution. And their problems were known to the regulator for some time. And the regulator had commenced action to try and ensure that they turned it around and sorted out the problem. And then at some point under this government, that ended. And the thing really drifted until the, proverbial thing hit the fan. And, it turned out that our sprint legend, Usain Bolt, and
along with 200
persons or whatever the number is, have been fleeced and they can't get their money, And I think it's tragic because it's such a high profile situation, and people not only in Jamaica, but our Jamaicans overseas, and no doubt other persons who are looking on, are thinking, well, how can that happen in a country where you have a regulator and this is a licensed institution? And who is being held accountable for it? Right now, I believe it's only one person, who's a relatively low-level employee who's before the court for it. So I'm saying we need to have a commission of inquiry.
How soon are you proposing to launch a commission of inquiry into SSL?
I don't see any reason for any delay. The Minister of Justice under our watch will be tasked with preparing the necessary documents to set up the commission of inquiry as right away. That will be a priority business.
So you're saying in the first 6 months, Mark Golding-led administration will launch a commission of inquiry. What about the Kroll report? Would you make the Kroll report public?
I think the Kroll report and the Ken Tomlinson report, he was the temporary manager, and he must have delivered a report of his temporary management. Those documents should be made public. If there are things in there that are so sensitive that they could compromise legal matters that are underway, those can be redacted. But things that don't meet that standard should be disclosed, and the report should be disclosed.
So you stand by the word that if there are aspects of it that needs to be, but you stand that you plan to make that report public.
Yes, we've called for it, and
and that who must be prosecuted will be prosecuted and locked down.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes, that is important, because how can you have confidence if these things happen and nobody is held accountable? It's not right, and I think that it's a blot on our reputation as an investment destination, and we need to ensure that we correct that. I'm not talking about witch hunts. I'm somebody who believes in fairness, believes in due process, believes in proportional, punishment fitting the crime and that sort of thing. But I don't believe in impunity, and I don't believe in a lack of accountability. Especially in issues like this, which have become a national and international scandal. Besmirching the image and reputation of our country.
And on that point of the law, you echoed yesterday that you have started a lawsuit for Portmore, the Colony Parish.
Yes.
The former head of the ECJ, Professor Errol Miller, says that if Portmore is constituted a parish, we are going down a very slippery slope of constitutional crisis.
Yeah.
The issue of Portmore, Mr. Golding, gerrymandering is of great concern.
Yes.
You said yesterday that even the utterances of a former senior minister who spoke about the reason for the cross-bordering of Portmore is cause that it needs to be corrected. What is the leader of the opposition saying tonight on the issue of Portmore?
Portmore was essentially built by the People's National Party governments over the years. Greater Portmore scheme under Michael Manley and then PJ. Previously in the 70s, a number of communities were developed and so on. And it is a very large community. And they wanted some autonomy in how they govern themselves. And this is 20 years ago I'm talking about. And a process of engagement and consultation was followed. And they wanted, for example, to have a mayor that they can elect themselves directly. Each resident who is entitled to vote should be able to vote for their own mayor. They wanted to ensure that their civic organizations could be represented on the committees of their council. We passed legislation then to make that happen. And as you know, George Lee was the first mayor, and there have been a series of mayors since. There's been a JLP mayor, there have been PNP mayors, and the current mayor is from the People's National Party. They are not happy with the situation politically. And the minister that you mentioned, said it publicly on our platform that when they go through this exercise of creating a parish out of Portmore, they're going to cut off certain areas which they feel tend to lean towards the People's National Party and get certain benefits as a result of that. And we're saying that is not a basis upon which you can set boundaries, especially electoral boundaries. We have an electoral commission. Both parties are represented on that commission. There are independent commissioners who are reputable people, fine Jamaicans, who are there to ensure that the electoral system is sound and that free and fair elections are guaranteed. Since the very violent election of 1980, we have seen where political violence has largely disappeared in Jamaica. And it is because the system has been improved and people feel that there are free and fair elections in the country. Now, to use the law and the majority in Parliament to pass an act saying you're creating a parish out of Portmore, but what we're really doing is setting the boundaries of that parish so that you cut through existing constituencies, which will necessitate a realignment because the Constitution doesn't allow a constituency to lie in two different parishes. So it's going to mean there has to be a realignment around your new parish boundary, which you have fixed to get a political advantage, as you see it. And we say that is a corrupt use of power. We say that is very improper and dangerous for Jamaica's democracy. And we filed a constitutional motion on Monday to seek the court's relief from this, including the striking down of that legislation. And we intend to pursue that litigation vigorously.
That even if you have to go to the Privy Council, you plan to?
If necessary, because it's still our final court. So, if we need to take it there, we'll take it there. Yeah.
But on the matter of the ECJ and Portmore, aren't you concerned that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica needs to come out of the office of the Prime Minister?
Well, put it this way, it has to be in some ministry because when their matters come to Parliament, it's brought through a minister.
Okay.
But what I'm very uncomfortable with, though, is the political ombudsman having it essentially eliminated, and the contrivance, this gimmick of making the electoral commissioners collectively as one body, the political ombudsman. It's not right. We voted against it when they brought that legislation to Parliament a year or so ago. And we went through the local government elections with that system in place. And effectively, there was no political ombudsman to deal with the issues that came up during the campaign.
Many issues already coming up in this campaign.
There are. I mean, we've seen situations where people's billboards are being defaced and that kind of thing. Those are the kind of things that the political ombudsman needs to jump on to quickly, bring the parties together and ensure that it doesn't lead to other things that we do, undesirable consequences. It's important. We're going to be going into a general election, and we have no mechanism in place right now to address those kind of complaints, and it's not good for the country. And I've called on the Prime Minister to ensure that we restore the political ombudsman to an independent office who can be the person to adjudicate those kind of disputes and recommend to the general secretaries of the two parties how to address them so that they can be resolved.
How recent have you called on him to address the issue of the office of the political ombudsman?
I did it yesterday in my speech. And I've been saying it previously, but I said it in Parliament yesterday in the budget debate.
Wow. So you believe that he'll respond to the cry of reinstating a political ombudsman for this election?
I don't know. They have not indicated that they see it as a necessity. They're the ones who created this problem. They're the ones who, through their majority, passed legislation to essentially eliminate the political ombudsman, because by making the ECJ commissioners the political ombudsman, it really means we don't have a political ombudsman. Remember, the way the ECJ works is through consensus. So they're dealing with sensitive issues around boundaries and electoral matters. And the way that they resolve it is that they thrash it out. And if the two parties don't agree, then the independent commissioners deal with it. And then whatever the final decision is, there's a convention, a practice where the parties accept it and live with it, even if it's not exactly what they wanted. And that's how we've been able to move forward. And our model is regarded around the world as an exquisite model, as a very successful model in how to deal with these matters. The political ombudsman deals with contentious issues where he said this, you said that, things have gone wrong. And you need to step into that situation and resolve it. Make a decision as to who you think was wrong, get them to apologize, get them to make address, and so on. It is not the role of the ECJ commissioners to get into that kind of affray.
Yes. But Mr. Golding, on that point, the ECJ put out a statement over the weekend that there are fake IDs that are in circulation.
Yes.
How do you plan to deal with this issue of fake voter IDs circulating?
Well, we need to ensure that our indoor agents and the people who are in the polling stations and outside, are properly trained and are alert to this issue. And we've been in dialogue with the Electoral Office of Jamaica as well to ensure that IDs are thoroughly checked against the records. And so that if there are fake IDs that are presented where a picture doesn't correspond, to what is on record, or that person can be identified and appropriately dealt with. So, we're very uncomfortable with it. That is not something anybody should feel comfortable with. But, we're just trying to be extra vigilant so that it doesn't become a problem.
When last has there been a Vale Royal talk with Mark Golding and Andrew Holness?
Boy, donkeys years ago, as my granny would say. I don't know. The last time was a good while back, over a year, I think, And there are some issues which we need to discuss and try and resolve, including issues to do with constitutional reform, for example. And I don't think that we can achieve much in the area of constitutional reform if both parties are not on board. And they know we're not on board with what they're doing. So they should really try and engage with us in a respectful manner and let us discuss it and see if we can find common ground. And I spoke about that yesterday in my speech, but that's for another occasion.
Another occasion. Yeah. I want to go back a little bit more in your presentation. Yesterday, you thoroughly carried the discussion about the reform of healthcare.
Yes.
As we speak, many of our hospitals don't have a CT scan machine.
Yeah.
CT scans and MRI are outsourced. You said that under PNP administration, there will be at least one CT scan and MRI in each parish as a start. You also spoke about primary care versus what is happening now about knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
Operating theaters, the cries of many Jamaicans is that they go into the hospitals no ventilators. They have to be on the corridors, all of that each
Yeah.
week, each day. What does a reform of healthcare under Mark Jefferson Golding administration look like?
Well, we want to shift away from these mega projects, which, involve mounting billions of dollars, like the Cornwall Regional Hospital, which
Tell us
started
about
as a $2 billion project and is now at over $21 billion 7 years later, and it's still not functioning properly. That is a disgrace, and nobody has been held to account for it. So we really want to enhance the delivery of healthcare in the clinics and hospitals. Patients go to the hospital to be diagnosed as to what's wrong and to be treated, and then to return home and feel better, And we have a problem right now because we're not doing screening at the level that we need to do. And I read some appalling statistics, which I want to repeat since I have your audience and you here.
Yes,
in Jamaica, 70% of colon cancers, I say bowel cancer, are now are diagnosed at advanced stages. When you're in real problems, not early on where it can be dealt with much more effectively. 70%, 90% of breast cancer are detected by a lump over a year after the cancer started. Prostate cancer is normally diagnosed after it has spread beyond the prostate.
Wow.
50% of diabetic patients, 40% of hypertensive patients, that's sugar and pressure, they have no idea that they have the disease. 50% of people with diabetes don't know they have diabetes. And 40% of people with pressure don't know they have pressure.
Mighty God, Marky G.
Yeah.
It is really bad.
It is bad. And we need to put a proper screening process in place, because a lot of these things can be dealt with, with very successful outcomes.
Yes.
If you catch it early and you deal with it early. So we plan to launch national screening programs to identify these diseases that are the top killers of our people and treat them early and more effectively. Prevention and early treatment are easier, cheaper, and more effective than late cure. So that's one aspect of us, of what we plan to do. We also see the need to ensure that operating theaters are properly maintained. Right now,
theaters that Christopherton don't have working.
That's right. KPH, 4 theaters closed. Cornwall Regional, no surgery. St. Anne's Bay, Anotto Bay, National Chest Hospital, all of these have non-functional operating theaters. It is a terrible situation. And, there's been really such poor attention to maintaining equipment, basic equipment, air conditioning units. Right now, there's a mold problem at KPH.
My God.
Yeah, as a result of AC units not working as they should. So, the emphasis needs to be on ensuring that the things that are necessary for basic healthcare that is needed by our people to be delivered in a dignified way, in a way which is accessible to them, that is not being done. And the standard of care in the public health system has suffered. And you see that there have been problems with industrial unrest with, all levels, even the consultants at the highest level of the system have had, have taken their own form of action. The situation is in crisis. We have an excellent spokesperson who has been in the public health system for many years. He's a consultant surgeon in his own right. He's been the head of medical.
So you have confidence in a Dr. Alfred Dawes rather than a doctor to do this work that is necessary.
Yeah, I have confidence in our man has worked in the system and knows medicine. Mm-hmm.
I realize that the key portfolios for growth in this country, you find the professionals to get the work done, because you align a Dawes to healthcare, you align an educator to education.
Yeah.
You go to entrepreneurship and innovation. You took up a young Andre Horton and you aligned him there.
And he's an entrepreneur too, as well as
an entrepreneur. Yeah. So is this the kind of visionary leadership that we should get in terms of aligning the professionals to the ministries to get the work done, to make things go in the right direction?
Yes, that's right. And, in the justice era, we have a very experienced and senior attorney, Donna Scott Motley, highly respected in that area as well. So I believe we need to put the best talent, the talent that has the most experience and knowledge of their area in the right positions to get the best results. And that's my job, really, is to try and achieve that as the person who makes those decisions.
But I want to ask you, there have been some utterance from the Prime Minister and his surrogates that they will not surrender Jamaica to the PNP. How you plan to deal with that?
I spoke about it yesterday in my speech. I said that is a very damning statement. That is not a statement I've heard any leader of a country say before. The JLP don't own Jamaica. The PNP don't own Jamaica. The people of Jamaica own Jamaica. And they have a right to choose the government that they want every 4 to 5 years. That's why we have a constitution. You can't be telling the people of Jamaica that the opposition can't win an election. It is a very anti-democratic and dictatorial tone. And this is from somebody who made his senators sign pre-signed undated letters of resignation so that he could ensure that if they didn't vote the way he wanted on certain issues, he could get rid of them. And that was struck down by the court. This is the same Prime Minister who appointed the Chief Justice of the country and put him on probation. So he could say, test whether or not he was comfortable with him when we have separation of powers.
On the lines of dictatorship, Macaulay.
Well, I'm saying there's a tendency that we're seeing, and those utterances were consistent with that tendency. So I had to drape him up about it yesterday.
Drape him up!
Because he has to understand that when he does these things, there are people who will speak out against it. The Jamaican people have a right to choose the government they want and to get rid of the government they don't want. And no Prime Minister should tell them anything else.
Rude. Disrespectful. So you say you have to drape him up and deal with him business.
Well,
Holding. I know that I just want to spend a little bit more time because
we're kind of gone over already.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Some of them over there saying that them need to see your passport to see whether or not you're fully Jamaican now, or according to them, they want to know if you did rescind your British visa. What is your response to like a Daryl Vaz tonight?
Daryl Vaz was a dual citizen in breach of the Constitution. Because he was not a Commonwealth dual citizen. He was a dual citizen outside of the Commonwealth, which is not permitted by our Constitution. The matter was taken to court, and the court ruled that that was improper, and that was when he decided to give up his U.S. citizenship. My father was from the United Kingdom, and as a youth coming up, I was entitled to British citizenship by descent. I'm born in Jamaica. I was born at University Hospital. I lived my life in Jamaica. I've never worked anywhere else in Jamaica. I did some studying in the UK, and that was it. So I had the British passport. It wasn't an issue because our constitution allows it. Yeah. However, when it became an issue last year, and there was a big kerfuffle about it, I said, let me check out how the people of Jamaica feel about it. Yeah. And we did our own poll. We didn't publish. We do polls all the time to assess what's going on and how people feel about things. And when I saw that there was a good enough chunk of Jamaicans who didn't think that their leader should have a dual nationality, I said, here what? I don't want my status to be an issue. I don't want my status to, for example, in any seat where we have a candidate that's a close seat, for it to be used as a thing that might make their chances not as strong as we want. So I said I would renounce it, and I have renounced it. And I paid £400 and something to renounce it. And the renunciation came through in August last year. In fact, I can show it. If you have 2 minutes, I can go get the document and hold it.
Give me 2 minutes. Prove it to the Marky G, Jamaica. Bangarang Marky G, prove it tonight, Jamaica. Himself going to show on it tonight, Jamaica. Ball out, producer, the program nice. Ball out, ball out. Ball
Whoa, yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out. From Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody. Man or woman.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
yes, Andre. So, as I said, in August it came through. So, here is the cover letter. How am I going to make you see it now? It's difficult, eh? I don't know if you can read. That's addressed to me.
Yes.
Yeah. And the date.
Home office, see it there?
Home office, yeah. And the date, you can see the date?
Yeah, the UK. Bring it up a little bit more, Mr. Golding. See there the reference and all of those something.
Yes.
Oh,
the date is right. The date is right here where my finger is. You can see it.
August 5th. Also, it was the day before independence.
And there you go. All right. And it's captioned renunciation of British citizenship. You see it?
See there, backside. See there.
Yes.
Did what the proof the Marky G did get there.
So that's the cover letter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cover letter signed by this person, whoever that's a officer of the
Leslie Davis.
Leslie Davis, UK Visas and Immigration Department 73. All right. Yeah. So that's the cover letter. And this is a certificate now.
Yes. The UK. See there? Declaration of renunciation. See there, Jamaica. Why would the man be telling a lie?
Yeah. And it's signed over here on the back. See, same. See. So this is it. And it has a seal and everything. Where is it?
Mr. Golding, you need not to say anything more to them.
Yeah. That's it. I'm glad I got the chance to, to be honest, let me tell you, it's my personal life.
Yes.
I've said it. I told the media from when it happened, it was carried in the Gleaner and so on. I thought people would accept what I say. I'm accustomed to telling the truth.
Yes.
But Daryl has continued to make an issue of it for whatever reason. Yeah, and there you go. So there you have it. All right.
So you silenced the argument and done the argument now.
Done the argument. Argument done.
Yeah. Argument done.
So right now I need a visa.
Hey!
If I want to go to the UK. And I haven't got one. I haven't applied yet. But
when you become Prime Minister, in a few more months, I'm sure your team will see to it that all of those visas right across the hemisphere and the world is dealt with, so that you can go and renew.
I don't think it would be a problem. As a leader of the opposition, I have a diplomatic passport and so on. So it's not an issue. I just haven't had the need to go through the process because I haven't been.
I want to ask Matthew Samuda if he could equally do the same tonight.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting question.
I would want Minister Matthew Samuda to equally show the renunciation of his British passport or his British citizenship. Because if Mark Golding has done it, I'm equally sure that everyone else who has rescinded should be able to prove it. Who agree, Jamaica? That Matthew Samuda should be able to show to the country and to the public that he has rescinded his British visa. And we're not talking about the next 2 weeks. We're talking about tomorrow morning. He has exclusive right to some media houses that Mr. Golding wouldn't have exclusive to. So I'm sure that Minister Samuda should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Mr. Golding.
Thank you very much, Andre. Andre, I have to.
Final, because there's a final thing.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Are you concerned about the police killings that have started at the beginning of this year?
Well, put it this way. The numbers are significantly up. And I fully support the law enforcement and our brave police officers who put themselves in danger to keep us safe. But we have a history, and history has necessitated the establishment of institutions, independent institutions, so that where somebody steps over a certain line, the citizen has some recourse and there's some accountability for that, and that is very important. And the Indicom was set up by the Jamaica Labour Party. It came under their watch, and I give them credit for that. So when you see the numbers going up in a fairly drastic way or fairly significant way, put it that way, it is some cause for concern.
It is state terrorism.
I don't want to I don't want to judge the matter. I don't want to judge the matter. But the body cameras, for example, which is a device that is used internationally, so that when law enforcement go on special operations and there might be a situation of confrontation, they can show that they've acted in accordance with the law. They use force if necessary, but only if necessary, and so on. They have that protection so that if there's an accusation made against them, they have it on video recorded that they did what they had to do and they didn't do anything that they shouldn't do. But we're not seeing any real move to put that in place. And
so
we're seeing excuses.
Will be instituting full body cameras as part of your crime plan?
We will work with the police and ensure that is adopted as a normal practice. So that, we have that kind of thing to protect the police and protect the citizen. I think it's important so that the people as a whole, especially in communities where these types of operations happen more often, that the citizens have confidence in the police. Because it's when you have confidence in the police that the police get information. And it's the information that enables the police to take necessary action to keep us safe. So there's a symbiotic relationship. There's a benefit to both sides to having a good relationship between the citizen and the police. The police understand that. And so I want to encourage things that would make that stronger, so have a better and safer Jamaica.
But there was one thing that the PNP administration did. You invested significantly in intervention programs, such as Unite for Change.
Correct.
All of those initiatives have basically gone to naught.
Yes.
I'm sure that you plan to reinvent all of those social initiatives through to get the kind of citizenship policing that is necessary. But that is for another time.
All right.
The final issue, Mr. Gold. No, this is the final one.
All right.
It is everybody wondering tonight is the bread and butter issue. Thousands of Jamaicans are wondering, how do they get a better economy with a Mark Golding-led administration? If you're to talk to the teachers and nurses, the youth on the corner tonight, those who are in the bar, the hairdressers, because a lot of them listening, a lot of bartenders listening tonight, thousands of people are listening, those who are in the diaspora listening, and we're hoping that you'll be able to come back for us to strengthen this discussion. How do you plan to champion change for a better Jamaica, a better economy in this country?
Now, that's a big question you've asked. And, tonight won't be the night for us to have that complete discussion, as you have said. But what I would start with is saying this. We believe in the importance of proper management of the fiscal affairs. We are the ones who took the debt after the JLP crashed the IMF program under Bruce Golding and then Andrew Holness. When we came to power at the beginning of 2012, we had a problem and we addressed it. And by the time we left office in just 4 years, the debt had come down from 147% of GDP, according to the official measures, down to 115 through the reforms that were brought and the proper fiscal management that was done. And the JLP have taken it from there, and it has gone down further to now 69%. And that's a great national achievement, which has created an opportunity for Jamaica to really move forward. But Jamaica is not moving forward. We have stagnant growth. And in fact, last year we had negative growth. The economy actually got smaller in 2024 than it was the year before.
Yes.
And we have to be focused on productivity. So I want to start by saying we have costed our proposals and we are satisfied that we can realign there's $360 billion of discretionary expenditure in the budget. Those are decisions that the government of the day make as to how to allocate resources. 360 billion. That's separate from salaries, separate from interest payments. All right.
Yes.
We have costed our proposals and we are satisfied that we can readjust those programs, and some things that they are doing we may not be as keen on. We may scale them down or eliminate them altogether, and we will introduce the programs that we think will benefit the Jamaican people. The feeding the children in the schools, helping rural children get, with a bus fare, etc. The first child in university degree, etc. We have a number of good ideas. So those are, and then training. Training is fundamental, because what we're hearing, even though there's this low unemployment rate, the official rate, and that is because we have a lot of people earning very low salaries who, are basically hungry same way, although they have a job. And we have 600, nearly 700,000 people who are over 14 who are not in the labor force. They don't count towards that statistic. Yet the private sector is saying they can't find people to do jobs. And they want to import. They want to import workers. And that is because we haven't really focused on upskilling our workers and providing proper training, modern training opportunities for people to learn the skills of the emerging economy of the world, which are things to do with digital, literacy and, other skills related to robotics, other skills related to how you manage a distribution and logistics economy, which is increasingly going to be part of how Jamaica lifts itself out of the doldrums. And we will be focusing on those things to increase national productivity, grow the economy, so that we can have more resources coming into the country to do other things to uplift our people and to make our people nice and deliver a good quality of life for our people. That is where we are now. We no longer have a massive debt problem. We've solved that. But what we haven't solved is how to get the economy moving.
We have a growth strategy and a development strategy for the people.
Correct.
Well,
and we can talk about that another time.
We're going to talk about that. And I hope you will not take long to return to this platform.
Well, we can talk about that,
Yes,
I don't want to be too familiar, so that I become boring. I want to.
No. You'll never be boring on a partner track.
That is true. That is true.
I can say this to you. There is a lady who is a mother to you. She goes by the name Miss Winnie. She's a Jamaican living in Barbados. Miss Winnie said, I must tell Mark Golding, her son, that she love you and she watching you in Barbados tonight. And when you win the election, she asking that you send for her to come so she can sit at King's House and witness you being sworn in as Prime Minister of Jamaica. We appreciate you coming here. And as I said, you are welcome and you're a friend now to Partner Draw TV. It's not everyone will invite to this program. So we are now inducting you as a friend to PDTV, and you are able to come, and if you want the manifesto to be spoken on this platform, you have this. If you want to do your town hall meetings on this platform, you have this platform. But I'm telling you, Mr. Golding, thousands of Jamaicans in the diaspora and likewise across the 14 parishes say thank you, because they got a greater understanding, a refreshing mindset of the champion for change. So thank you, Mr. Golding.
Thank you. And if I may just say in response, thank you to Miss Winnie for the love and support in Barbados, and I look forward to meeting you, ma'am. I want to thank you, Andre, for hosting me, and for doing so elegantly, so eloquently, and so professionally.
But I want to know, I never call you with jellyback fish. And if you me call weak jellyback fish, Mr. Golding.
No, you didn't.
It's not you me call weak jellyback fish. And I am sure you have appreciated my honest critiques. Both
Oh, yes.
and
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, you know, I just want to say how much I admire what you've achieved, Andre. You know, I know you're a multi-talented young man. You can do many different things, but what you've been doing with this PDTV, how you've grown your customer base and the impact that you're having, it is really remarkable. And, you know, I just want to say respect. Do you keep up the good work? And, you know, we'll be back and we'll have a good conversation in due course.
All right, Mr. Golding, I'll make sure you get some of the shrimp. Like we talk them good.
All right.
Bless up
Thank you very much for having me. God bless.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
Jamaica.
All right. I'm out.
Yes, I'm out. Hey! Why? Jamaica. I hope you all enjoyed the interview tonight. I tried my very best to put as much as I could over the last 1.5. No, not 1.5, about 1 hour 15 minutes. I hope and I know for sure Mr. Golding will be back to discuss the future aspect, because we want to, I never get the chance to dissect the whole energy efficiency discussion. And I definitely would want to carry the discussion further about the whole energy. But I think we'll need to get a Philip Paulwell as spokesperson and all other persons to, you know, have that full discussion about what this PNP government will. Boy, my phone a ring off. Students, my phone a ring off. We never get the chance to discuss agriculture, but we never get the chance to discuss the whole tourism product. But then Jamaica, I can say it's the start of a discussion for a better Jamaica. Would you agree? Would you agree? It is a start for a discussion for a better Jamaica. I'm going to take a few calls now. I'm going to take. Was the interview a good one, Jamaica? Cause me know people say, boy, teach. I tried to pull as much as I could in the short stint, but let me hear. Hello, good night.
Andre, good night. Donna from New York.
Yes, my dear.
Yes, you shouldn't take 1 and 2 call when Mr. Golding.
No, darling, couldn't take 1 or 2 call when Mr. Golding was on. I'm taking the call now.
Yes, okay. And welcoming to Partner John TV. We're glad to hear him, Bryce. We love him and we will support him in his Dallas.
All right, darling. God bless you. Thank you, my dear. Bless you.
Yes. This is Donna. Yeah.
Good night, Andre, and good night, Partner John TV.
Yes, my friend.
And let me first thank God that He found you and that He placed you in this position where you can help to deliver Jamaica from bondage. I feel like you is Moses sometime, Andrea Stevens, and sometimes I feel like you is David. But whatever you are a blessing from God. Don't let nobody else tell you no different. Now tonight, let me congratulate you first of all. Second of all, Mr. Golding, you did very well. You yourself explained what the PNP plans are for Jamaica.
Yes.
And I love that you touched on each and every subject that was relevant, such as the what was most interesting to me was the impeachment.
Yes, the
impeachment. You see, Mr. Golding, what I want you to consider, now that you are poised to become the first president of Jamaica, according to the new constitution that the labor rights are bringing forth. Now, it sounds attractive and it is wonderful. Yes, you will be the first president of Jamaica, but do you really want a constitution where you cannot be impeached, where you cannot be investigated, where you can become become a criminal president for years, 7 years, and get away with it?
Yes.
Or do you want, we want Mr. Golding to change that, where we don't need a president that's going to be there for no more than 4 years without going up for re-election, and we don't want a president there where you cannot investigate him, you cannot impeach him, and him is held above the law. We don't want no king, Mr. Golding. So that is the first thing we need you to address.
But he said that as Prime Minister, he'll look into it. He said that, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. He did. He basically addressed that potent flaw.
Yes, but Ra, me have to take one whole it more call. So me appreciate you talking about the reform and impeachment, but I have to take a few more calls.
Me love it, and thank you again, Mr.
All right, my brother. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, Ra. God bless you. Hello, good night.
See what the Lord has done. When you see what the Lord
I want
has
this family night, yeah.
What we've waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. Andres.
Yes, Natalie.
Andres, me ball. Sit down now.
Why you crying, Natalie?
Oh my God, Andres, me ball. Andres, look how long we are waiting. But the Lord says, when the time is right, said the Lord, thy God will make it happen. Me God, you see?
All right, Nat.
It was a brilliant interview.
Thank you.
So much to talk about. But big up on yourself, Father John. Big up yourself, Mark.
All right. All right. Students, bless up the super chat and show me some go on good. Hello, good night.
Good night, Andre.
Lord, yes, sir, Paula.
Boy, not to say that interview with Jamaica's incoming Prime Minister was so professional. You did so well.
Really?
And the questions were on point. And Mr. Golding's answer was precise.
Yes.
And you was so professional, my brother. And 11 tone strong.
Boy, Paula, I try my very best. I try my very best.
No other program in Jamaica has gotten that listenership. It's like internet program or radio call in.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes some with some 1.5 or 1.2, and them have no people to them. My brother, I really appreciate it.
Yes, Paula.
I won't go into any detail, but when I point of it, otherwise I'm not going to explain and tell about the money which can be used to finance a lot of its projects. That certificate of renunciation.
Yes, I never expect it would reach there when Marky G go for the document and prove it to them tonight.
We know that from August last year, Mark Gold has announced that he has gotten the certificate.
Yes.
The man should have at the same time. And another person who had told Emily Shields that he is in the process of doing nothing, can't show nothing.
Oh, you mean Matthew Samuda?
Oh, yes, Janko Jacket.
But I have called on him tonight, Pollock, to that him need to come out and prove that he has rescinded his...
No, Janko Jacket never show nothing.
Oh, Lord Pollock, how you call him?
Janko Jacket.
All right, Pollock, go on your ways. Go on your ways, my friend. Later. God bless you. Yes, Saint Elizabeth. Good night, Saint Elizabeth.
Night, Andrew. What going?
Yes, Saint Elizabeth.
Listen to me, man. You're let me say, you are superior, man. Listen to me.
Really?
You have achieved what most of these media houses will not achieve. Listen to me. For you to get my goal and to go for his renunciation, that top off everything. You could actually close off a show, but it was a good interview. You did a wonderful job.
Him silent all of them tonight, you know, St. Elizabeth. Him silent all of them in a Courtney. Him silent all of them tonight. But I literally never expected he would have gone there. But you know one thing about Andre Stevens. Him known to draw out the people them, you know. I get the best out of them.
Yes, man.
Okay. God bless you. But you know, I never expected Mark to be on the program today. But I remembered when Isaac was at the brunch.
Yes.
Isaac said, Mr. Golding, when you're making your presentation, and Mr. Golding said, very, very, very soon. And I said, if he come, he come. But this morning, the confirmation came. And I said to myself, boy, make it work tonight. And it sure did. But thank you. Thank you, you're here. I have to take another call.
Listen to me. It's a good thing to keep up. Tomorrow, the other man say him about the him thing, you know. So tonight, we might go and come and represent him budget basically again. Is a plus for him.
But you and I know the other man not coming on this platform.
No, man, we can't put him on it.
But I would want him to come and face me, but you know him can't do that. All right. Thank you, my friend. Yes. Mama San.
Wagwan, my boss, wagwan, me there you watching. I congratulate you, sir. And me like, oh, you said to the boss, say, listen, I never you me a call Jellyback, you know. And then you me a call weak Jellyback. What me tell you is a good program, Andre. Andre, over 11,000 viewers you have, you know. You know, no fire there in this, you know, my youth.
Mama,
from nothing to this way there, you know.
Why, Mama San?
Criticize, you know, but God is in the midst, you know. We respect you how you deal with it.
You like the interview. And if you say you like the interview, Mama San, argument done.
Interview you do, boss. You know, so that an intelligent interview and a baga interview. You do it intelligent, professional. You do it professional. And as what you say, you never know say the boss that go for him paper them for sure. You say him giving him paper. So when them ever say no? You could not talk the boss, all them have both beat up them out that never come out to nobody. Everybody I wonder if Marky G put the give him status if I'm England. I'm sure you the man have dignity. I'm sure the man that want live a British and the wives are born Jamaican and the man get up and no for them over next side we chat up them out no.
Them silent you know, you know. Yeah, all that they want to Portland have a short film out now, you know.
In better shut
and he need to go learn to do the maths because Damien shame him last night. He can't even do the maths, you know. Him say Marky G food, but bill would have come to 1.5 trillion. But Damien say no 1.5 or 1.5 billion. But if Mark take the money back in a NHT, there is enough money to fund the programs that are needed.
You understand it? Yeah, when I say, you tell me, that means say you soon can move out of the one bedroom, or you mean me can't come.
Yeah, me soon come out of my one bedroom.
Yes. And me can't come to Jamaica now, come pay down, me look something and pay a fee for 2 years and get the loan for pay down for the house. Me can't do that because I work America and I do Esperance, so we get paid now. So me can't me soon own a house too. So me just want Andy for calling me, Marky G gets for going and power for give poor people a chance for own them own house and don't for buy a $50 million house, so we don't know where the money they come from. Marky G for coming in, the younger generation, then the teacher them are crying, the doctor them, the nurse them, the whole Jamaica ball. Let me for step down, man. Like when Marky G tell us, say, yo, him drape him up.
Yeah.
You know, say your speech where you make, say, Jamaica, you not give Jamaica to the PMP. Oh, you mean you not give
rude and rank.
Out of order.
All right, Mama San, I have to go take some more call. You hear me, Bono? No,
yes, man. No flow, my baby. No flow. Yes,
all right.
Good job.
Boy, Jamaica, my phone and ring like hot bread. Some people, when me see a message me, I wear them at up on Harris people. Hello, good night.
Good night. Is this Andre?
Yes, this is Andre.
Well done. Very well done program. I'm listening to you from Connecticut, and I can tell you this is a very well done program. One thing I would have loved to hear him answer to is the Cuban doctors.
Well, there will be more interviews to come, my darling. Me couldn't bombard him with everything. I want to hear the Prime Minister address the Cuban doctor situation tomorrow.
Well, true too.
We want to hear the word from the Prime Minister tomorrow on the Cuban doctors. And if it is not adequate, assure Mark Golding will respond.
Very well done.
All right?
Bye-bye.
Yes. Make the Prime Minister respond to the Cuban issue. Who agree with Jamaica? Who agree? Make the Prime Minister, Courtney, respond to the Cuban issue tomorrow. We want to hear the Prime Minister stand on Cuba and the relation. Yeah, and the Prime Minister must address it. Yes. Good night, Mr. Marsh.
Good night, Andre. Good night.
Yes,
Let
Dad.
me remind you something, You remember that cocktail party at the Spanish Treasure Hotel for Isaac Buchanan?
Yes.
And I saw you and Mr. Gordon were talking, You remember what I come across and I said to you?
Me not remember. Remind me.
I said to you, I hope you're getting him on Partner Draw TV. But you say, no, you wasn't there and that.
No, when I went to him at the time at the event with Isaac, my responsibility was to make sure he was fed adequately and properly. Me never go bombard him with nothing then.
And I saw that. But I heard the man said something what I said to people when I went to that party,
Yes.
I come back and I say, you see that boy, me describe it, you see that boy Andre Stevens? He's a multi-talented person, And tonight I heard Marky G say, and let me tell you something, man. Are you a real journalist, Well, none of them are political activists only. But if you are even political activists tonight, I see the journalist part of you. You were brilliant, Andre. Brilliant. Keep it up, my friend.
If it's come from you, my father, I really appreciate. You hear?
Yes,
I really appreciate. Students, bless up the super chat, man, or bless up the cash app, or bless up the Zelle for sure the level of support if you don't appreciate my work tonight. All right? Hello, good night.
Good night, teacher. Teacher, you did great. I love you more. And Marky G has given me hope. He has given me hope for my grandchildren and my great-grand. Jamaica has a chance to go forward.
You got hope. You got hope tonight.
Yes.
For those who need the Zelle information, WhatsApp me and I'll give it to them. I now put up my public Zelle in here.
To pray for you and to pray for God's covering for the work that you're doing and to pray for Marky G. God bless you, Mr.
All right, my bononos. God bless you. God bless you. Boy, my phone a ring like hot bread. My phone a bring, like when Courtney them say the bread hot. Hello, good night. Yes.
Well done. I have to tell you in Spanish. Que bueno.
Que bueno.
Que bueno. You are an excellent. Let me tell you, none of them up at Carrie Mac have nothing against pan you.
Really?
Them over Bradley Avenue need to learn how to do interviews without being biased. You did a good interview. You asked tough questions and you forced. But you have gotten something that nobody has gotten. And I want to say to Janko Jacket, right?
Hey!
And to others who are sitting in the parliament, like your friend from Spanish Town, the dancing minister, right? To come and show us their renunciation of their citizenships that they hold. Yeah? Come and show us. I want to commend you and I'll stay along. I know the line hot. Well done.
All right, and we catch up tomorrow, all right?
Que bueno.
Boy, students, Dranko jacket. Hello, good night, students. Some $20 no, man. Some 2 students send me $100 tonight for that interview. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Andre.
Yes, good night.
Andre, I must congratulate you. It's an awesome interview. Watching from Connecticut. Big up yourself, Professor. And big up Mark G. I look forward for him to take back Jamaica to that happy place that we used to, where your kids can come out and play again, crime under control, etc. So I'm not going to stay long, but I must say to you that if more Cliff Huge do this and beat you.
What you said, darling?
And the rest of them on them podcasts and them TV, whatever. But do this and beat you. And then for come show them receipts like how Mark G show him receipts.
All right. We'll look into it. Thank you, my dear.
Good night. Have a good night.
Yes.
Yourself.
Hot Topic was calling me, you know. I don't know if I get the pass from Hot Topic tonight. I good. Hello, good night. Thank you, Diane. Hello. 2 more students and $100. No, sir.
Hello, Andre. Congratulations.
Thank you, my darling.
Who the Monday come over?
All right.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, my darling. Thank you, Mama. Yes. Why? Everybody are call me. Everybody are call me. Hello, good night.
Hi, teacher.
Yes.
Good night. Congratulations, man. Congratulations on your
Thank you, dear.
Excellent interview. And we got one of our partner draw.
Oh.
So the bigger one is yet to come.
All right. I look forward, my darling. I look forward. Thank you again. Everybody a message me.
Thank you so much.
All right. 1 more 100. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Good night, Andre.
Yes, darling.
Yeah, good night. Awesome interview. And I also like the part that Marky G said he's opening up a commission of inquiry to inquire about
about the SSL.
And I'm hoping that then he will get Andrew Holdings for the NHP money and all the other SSL money sticking at NHP.
Thank you, cocktail.
SSL money, the board money and the NHP money. So we want the NHP money to make up the more houses.
All right, darling. Bless you here. Boy, me gonna tell you, Jamaica, that this was everybody I call. My phone not stop ring. Hello, good night.
Andre, good night. I went to bed early from about 7 o'clock. Got up back about my time just to catch this. Well done. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Now, as a part that I like the most when he showed is we call it renounce what?
The rescind. Or renounce him citizens. Yes.
I love that part. Very honest. And I like an honest leader. Very honest person. Very honest and can stick to his word. And
yeah, man. You know, I don't think they know what that do tonight, you know. My dear, as you said tonight, you see the reality that he could have gone in his house, court me, and prove, say him do it. I don't think them understand how them. I don't think them understand how that raise the level of trust.
Honesty and integrity. Very honest person. Yes.
Some of them can't declare them statutory resign.
Anyway, kudos to you, Andre. Kudos and continue to keep up the good work. All right.
All right, dear. Bless you.
Bye now.
Boy, my phone not stop ring. Jamaica, what me I go do? Masikile a call. Yes, comrade Masikile.
Masikile.
Yes.
I just want to say I am very, very proud of you. It was a very excellent interview tonight.
All right.
I thoroughly enjoyed the show.
All right.
So much because a lot of people want to talk.
All right, Mashikile. Bless you. Bless you. Hello, good night.
Good night, Andre. Congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you.
I also give you a kitty blanket.
La 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 la. All right. God bless. God bless you. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, Andre. Well, you do a wonderful job of my input. I'm glad how you get to pick up Miss Winnie and get her wish. So when she call tomorrow, she can talk about it. Miss Winnie get her wish.
Miss Winnie will be the happiest tomorrow, man. She got happy like happy wow. All right.
That is my 2 cents. Because I just love what you pick up Miss Winnie said, you know?
Oh, yeah, man. It's one thing I'm telling you. One thing you know about me is that I'm going to be, once I say I'm going to deliver on something, I'm going to deliver on something. All right?
Yeah, man. Just keep up the good work said, so me go and listen.
All right. God bless you. Yes. Hello. Good night.
Good night, Andre. Good night.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well.
Good. Calling from the diaspora, particularly from Georgia. I want to say job well done. And I want to let the Jamaican people know that context matters.
Okay, darling.
Taking a statement from our incoming MP for Portland East, context matters. The Jamaican people got a taste and a spice of Mark Golding tonight, and we're waiting and looking for more, and he has our full support. Even though we can't come to Jamaica, come vote him up with support. We got to start sending back with Western Union money, and we're going to start support him, and we're going to make the country better. Big up yourself, Andre. Job well done. Very eloquent. You showed your skills. You're multi-talented. Everything that you've got, you put it out there tonight and let them talk. Because them back no bigger than your one.
All right.
Big up yourself, job well
All right,
done.
darling. Bless you. Hello. Good night.
Hi, Andre. Congratulations. Congratulations. Interview well done, my son.
Yes. I hope you take out all of the things them and cut it out and splice up all of the interview. You know the media house them now go say on Partner Draw TV. Them will say tomorrow on a YouTube channel. I saw them go style me tomorrow, you know. On a YouTube channel.
Yes.
You're going to hear that on a YouTube channel, Mark Golding. None of them are going to say Partner Draw. You're just going to hear them on a YouTube channel. But
and so they might eat out their heart tonight, may I tell you, man. They might eat out their heart tonight. They can't believe.
All right,
they
my
can't
darling.
Believe that Mikey G did it. I will have a great night and job well done.
All right. Me know so when I remember me I come to Canada soon. Remember Canada, me I come to Canada soon.
And you just me send you a message to ask you how you're going to bring back all of them and go back to me.
Hey, you never find a way. The whole heap of greet and meet and everything soon put out. But remember the 28th, I'm going to be at the International Women's Award in Brampton, Canada. Right, students? Thank you, Online Genie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. All right, darling. Everybody still a call me. Me just
yes, teacher. God bless you. Thank God my dream come true. Mr. Golden was on the show. I am so happy. Great show.
All right, my darling.
Every moment.
God bless you. Yes. Lord, at topic now stop call me. Good night, Jamaica at topic.
Remember, said despite me and my own show, me is a student and will always be a student of Partner Draw TV. And as my teacher, you did me proud tonight. Let me explain this to you. You see, this is an award-winning interview. You hear the word when we use? Award-winning interview. You conducted yourself very well. You asked the pressing questions. And you gave the future Prime Minister for run go film document.
Really?
Listen to me, Andre. say, listen to me, man. I say, boy, you got guts, you know, man. You got guts, no clout, you know. But big up yourself, Andre. You did proud. You did Jamaica proud. I mean, I forget your flowers and your roses and your beer tonight. Big up yourself.
All right.
One, Andre. Big up yourself.
All right, my friend. Bless you. Bless your hot topic. Hot topic. So me make the man run. Go for the. Hello.
Andre, good night.
Yeah.
I just want to call you and say you do a marvelous job. I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask you, but I'm glad Mark Foley was on to answer those questions that was in my mind that I written down, as well as disprove that no matter what, Mark Golden will go anywhere just for the people, and he's a people person. So big up you every time, and big up Mark Golden time come.
All right, my dear. God bless you. God bless you. I'm going to big up my production team, although me and them can war. I like Courtney, Dre, Dan, and John. Although me and them war enough. But it all paid off. Them never disappoint me tonight. Big up to my producer and my admin. I know we have enough work on. I'm going to make sure I cut up as much and put out the boy. My boy, me feel proud. And big up to me auntie, Auntie Claudette, who said, my son, make sure you hold it, you know. And I did what I'm able to do, Jamaica. Boy, me get another half hour. My God. But Mark Golang, I'm sure will be coming back. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Andre. Good night. First time calling, and I'm calling from the diaspora. I've been a very regular listener to your program, and I'm telling you, man, I made a lot of comments at times, but tonight, man, you passed the degree, man. Passed that degree. Yes, you've done a wonderful job, and I congratulate you on that.
Yes.
On behalf of the incoming Prime Minister, I wish you all the best. And everybody been talking about it, man. You can do more. You do it.
All right, my very best. Thank you, my father.
Keep the word. Yes, brother. Keep it.
Thank you, boy. Everybody, lad, students. My phone, me no know, me can't answer no more. My phone depend. No, sir. I owe me a manage the phone Courtney, so I figure start answer the call them. Hello, good night. And 10,000 still there, you know. Hello, good night.
Hello, Andre. I am so proud of you. I am laying here in my bed. I'm living in Florida. And believe me, Andre, my eyes full with tears. And you know what I respect? You see, when you ask him about the accounts, and he explained to you.
Yeah, because I expected he would have said about him have 6 accounts. The man said him have a dormant account and 2 accounts, one with his wife. Some people can't say that, you know, lady.
I was so proud of you when you asked him that question, and the response that he gave to you was such an interested and respectful response. Andre, you have done a good job.
Imagine, lady, you stir up answers. Lady, imagine you have a husband and you one have 28 account and not even a giant account in the 28.
Account with his wife, and the man even go to his children. The man explained. Oh my God, I said, oh God, bless this man. I am telling you, man, a man of integrity, a man of, oh God, I respect him. I respect him, and I respect you. May God bless you and cover you under his blood.
All right, but no, God bless you now.
All right.
Hey, Ed girl, I call, and when you know Ed girl call, and nothing normal. Hello, good night.
Good night, my wonderful teacher. Teacher, you large, trust me. Thorough, insightful. What more could we ask for? All the right questions and all the right answers. The only thing we have to say, call it, Andrew. Call it.
Call it.
Andrew, call it. Ready, teacher. Ready. Listen, I saw a leader. I saw a man ready to take on the world. I saw a man ready to lead. I saw a man that has his delegates in the
We
right
the somebody
position.
say, before we go back in the comment, can Bradley Avenue did over here? Bradley Avenue did over here?
When I look at Bradley Avenue because Bradley Avenue, I look at I because listen, when I was sitting and watching in Andre, I said to myself, cool one bedroom. I said, cool one bedroom. I said, well, one bedroom do enough vlogger can do and I will never do. Tell me which vlogger interview Andre Gostung and chat all night. And come with anything sensible. None. Andre, big up yourself. Andre, you're large and in charge. 11,000 strong and counting.
All right, darling.
And gone far and wide. Big up yourself.
All right. You know, I'm just asking everybody to share this program with 10 persons. Just take this program and share it with 10 persons so that a lot can watch and listen to the future plans that Mark Golding echoed. Somebody from Alabama called me tonight. I never see Alabama call me. Hello, good night. Alabama hung up. All right, darling, Tanisha call. Yes, Tantan. Hello.
Tanisha, I've been a qualified one night, trust me. When I must man tonight, they're gonna get you. But job well done. You outdo yourself. Them can't pop this one. Them can't cross this one. You understand me?
Yes.
And it was a pleasure. Like I said, I texted in the group before. I said, time come. And it really come indeed. Because it was a long time waiting for Marky G Grace Partner Draw, and we all feel good about it tonight. It made me feel like, you know, there's hope for Jamaica. I remember one time I said the very core of Jamaica has been broken, the fabric of Jamaica has been broken.
Yes.
Tonight we can clearly say that we can see the stitching happening back on the fabric where Jamaica can be formed and shaped back into the beautiful woman that she is. You understand? And I feel good tonight. I'm overjoyed. I'm excited. I can almost say I'm excited for the future of Jamaica. Because Jamaica, trust me, is in good hands.
Yes.
In Marky G's hands, not the other people them hands. And then one thing I would say to Marky G tonight.
Yes.
Speaking about money, finding money, Bradley Avenue. We have one slow and we wanted to.
Hey! No more tax break. No more tax break, Tanisha. No more. Go on. Love you. Love you. Hello, good night. Why am I Courtney? I have 200 add missed call panda phone. I have about 300 panda one here. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, teacher. You have won the gold medal tonight. You have done a fabulous job. I am so proud of you. Mark Golding, thank you so very much for gracing us with your presence. It is much appreciated, and we are looking for more to come.
Yes. All right, darling. God bless you. You hear?
God bless you as well. Bye-bye.
Yes. Hello, good night.
Good night, love. You did a wonderful job. Congratulations.
All right.
I'm very proud of you, young man.
Thank you, man.
Very, very proud of you.
Yes, thank you, my darling. God bless. Alabama. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night. Congratulations, Angie.
Thank you, my dear. Somebody says Parliament need me now. No, me not going to no Parliament, man. Me going to be the watchdog for Jamaica. You're going to be the watchdog for Jamaica. Me not going to no Parliament. Not now. Probably in the future when me galvanize resources and finish off my education and all of them something. Because me no want nobody come say me a dunce but I go in the Parliament. So me have a few things to achieve before the next 5-6 years to turn around my situation. Not just economically, but socially, Jamaica. Because you know them say you have to make sure say self-actualization. You have to make sure you get certain things off the ground and sorted out. All right? God bless you, my dear. Why my phone a ring like hot bread? Hello?
Andre answers. Hello, good night.
Good night, dear.
Oh God, Andre, let me cry. I don't know what to describe you as. You're such a breath of fresh air. You're a blessing. And I must first say before, I know that she maybe wasn't there in the program, but your grandmother. I must give thanks to your grandmother because she has prepared you for this. And I've never stopped praying for you because I know that goodness and purpose and blessing will always be there for you.
Yes.
I'm so happy for the interview tonight.
I know that Heather
has
tonight would be happy. My grandmother, she always a pray for me, man. One thing, if you never know, most nights before I come on the program, she call and whisper a prayer for me. And she did whisper me prayer tonight before I come on. I mean, know me going to get a call tomorrow morning, because the amount of people are going yard go say, boy, Miss Williams, your grandson gone with himself last night.
Oh, God,
So I mean, know say by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock a morning, as she that I called me phone.
Excellent.
All right, my
I'm
darling.
I'm so happy for that. And one thing I can tell you, Andre, I see a lawyer in you. I see journalism in you. I see a great chef in you. But you're so multi-talented that everything that you touches, it turns gold. And I'm happy tonight of what you have done because you have inspired us so much. And my son is so inspired by you. And he looks forward to watch you every day. And he's only 10 years old. He always said that you want to be like Andre.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you. You'd never understand. You're one of his greatest role model, and I look forward forevermore because I know there's going to be greater yet to come. God bless you and take care.
God bless you. But you know, too, as I wrap up the show tonight, Jamaica, I'm not taking any more calls. Students, may I ask you to remember to support my lunch venture, my food venture, and 11,000 or 12,000 people came on. I hope to see that at least me get a 50 to 60 requests. And then we have gone far and wide to find a more reasonable courier or delivery service. So all deliveries around Kingston are now at $500. So I'm asking Jamaica to work with me. Buy the nice food. The oxtail is here tomorrow. You understand? The chili ginger fish is here tomorrow. All of these beautiful things are here tomorrow. So may I ask you for support? Who agree? Support my lunch request tomorrow, Jamaica, and keep PDTV news going. All right? Keep PDTV news going. Hello, and Partner Draw Kitchen going. Hello, good night.
Good night. You know, me and no caller, but tonight, excellent show. Worst you missing yesterday. But
it was a good comeback from last night, yes.
Yeah, man, yeah. You made a statement that they will not state that PDTV he showed that documents. So before when his presentation, they were doing a preview talk on a particular station. And one of the ladies said, how Mark can take the day is at the end of his presentation, he do a bomb job, meaning he show his that letter.
Yes.
So the whole point that he show it on your program tonight, look for it tomorrow on all the social media platforms.
Oh, so
yeah, man, they were looking forward for it from the his presentation,
Oh, and they never get it
before, and they didn't get it. So now, even when somebody mentioned that they were over here tonight, I am not surprised if they were. Because they were looking forward for him.
Oh, so they expected him would have dropped it in the parliament yesterday.
Exactly.
And he never do it.
So now he came and he showed it tonight. A bangarang tomorrow.
Hey! Courtney, wake me up a morning and tell me the bangarang.
I will send you a documentation somebody did on March. I don't know. It's a good documentation. I don't know if you want to close the show with it.
Not
It's a
tonight.
video.
Not tonight. Not
Yeah,
tonight.
man, yeah. But you can watch it and then you know how to go and dissect it.
All
But it's
right.
a good documentation. You can actually watch it.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Declaration.
Yes, hello, good night.
Hi, Andre, good night. Andre, I couldn't go to sleep without talking to you.
Oh, Lord.
Andre, you did a marvelous job.
Thank you.
I used to love you, but I love you even more.
All right, my dear. God bless you.
The fact that Mark Golden dropped the bombshell on your program, Andre, that was a powerful move.
Yes. All right. Thank you, my dear.
Bless you, Andre. We love you. We're here for you.
God bless you
Good
too.
night.
Yes, Jamaica. You know, as I end this program tonight, Jamaica, tomorrow the Prime Minister speaks. And you can sign up for membership on PDTV, you know. Tomorrow the Prime Minister speaks. And tomorrow I'll be analyzing everything the Prime Minister says. And I'll be fact-checking the Prime Minister for the entire presentation tomorrow. It was a pleasure to have you all here tonight, Jamaica, on PDTV News. Remember to like up this live. Remember to send in your request for lunch and food service from PDTV or catering request for small, medium, large events. Anything. But remember equally to get enumerated. Get enumerated, Jamaica. Get enumerated. But you can send me a WhatsApp if you want to Zelle or Cash App me to just show love or support. You can WhatsApp me and ask me for the Zelle or Cash App information. But my name is Andre Stevens and this was PDTV News Jamaica. Until then, Jamaica, stay blessed and see you back tomorrow at 1 p.m. on Midday Connections. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye now, Jamaica. Walk good.